Setting the tone today, number one chill spot on the internet. How we doing, tribe? We got Cabza Chant with a 15-minute record. I was listening to this morning. I was like, I got to start the live stream off today with this because we are setting the tone for the week. You understand? For those I know, you know. We're going to do some deep breathing as well today. Mindful Monday. I got a new book I copped that I want to share with you. Also been diving in a little bit into the Gita a little bit more. And we got the reminder deck. Let me know where you are tuning in from all over the world. Number one chill spot. We are in Vancouver, BC, Canada. Again, hopefully you came for the vibes and not because you like to nourish yourself on nonsense, but you know what we do here. We fine tune the frequency. We're going to take some deep breaths because all week, we've been focusing our deep breathing. We actually released a new breathing practice in our chill space. We'll talk about that later, but we're just going to set the tone. You understand? We're going to regulate our nervous system because a calm nervous system is a flex. You understand? It's not just about the money you got. It's also about how you have the ability to bring yourself back to the center. And that is exactly what we like to do here, right at the number one chill spot. Let me know where you are in the world as well. I'm going to take a deep breath in. You understand? You can breathe with me. You can watch. You can sit back. Maybe you're driving in your car, whatever it may be. Just tune in for the experience. We're gonna let Jazzy B here on the cabs just sing this out though, because there's some beautiful vocals. You can hear the ancestors in the voice. A little deep breath in. And we're going to let it out. We're going to breathe back in. That feel good, don't it? You understand? That feel good. Let's go. Again, I hope you are here to nourish yourself on good vibes, not nonsense. You know what we do here, the number one chill spot on the internet. Deep breath in. Let it out. Release, release, release. This week we are setting our own tone, focusing on our own pace, our own race. You understand? I was actually reading this article about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and the similarities they had. Obviously, both of them were just masters of their crafts and, legends in what they do. But one of the things that they were amazing at was being able to put blinders on and focus on what truly matters. And I loved reading that because I feel like for the past 2-3 months, I have said, move in the direction that matters. That's why we do the study streams. You can check them out in our chill space, of course. But just seeing that made me realize we are on the right path together. Beautiful tribe, beautiful people. Be yourself so the ones that love you can come closer, and the ones that don't, to be honest. Another thing that Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan had in common was they just didn't care for the noise. They knew who they were and they stood on that, and that's all that mattered. And that's exactly what we do here at the number one chill spot. One more deep breath. You know, in this era right now where we, like I've been saying, there's so much information, there's so many things to consume. And I've been really thinking about that. And I'm like, man, I don't want to just put things out. I just don't want to talk anymore. Like, I want to really produce experiences that can like regulate our nervous system or like make us feel something, you know, like all the information is out there. You know, we got AI, you can ask ChatGPT any question. So like the direction in our chill space, our private community, it's moving to more like practical content, not just content you watch, but content you have an experience with. And just yesterday, we dropped a beautiful breath work, affirmation, plus like meditation session. Let me show you a clip. Thank you for tuning in, but I'd love for you to consider something, joining us behind the scenes. Wrong one. We're going to do a 3-minute breathing practice, just me and you. Release, release. Vibe ting. Vibe ting. Breath work and hindsight, you understand, is a beautiful practice. Do check it out, heinz.com/chill, hindsight.com. We're going to be developing so many journal experiences, traveling through every single emotion that we go through, you know, manifestations, you know, acquiring the life that we desire, moving in the direction that matters. I'm more focused on creating experiences versus just giving information. Just giving information doesn't excite me anymore. Like I said, like neither of us, we're all students and teachers. You know, what we do here at the number one chill spot on the internet is simply, you know, we give reminders. You understand? I believe God has placed everything that you need within that seed in yourself. And sometimes we just need someone to be a mirror and sprout and water that seed within. And that is exactly what we do here at the number one chill spot on the internet. Again, thank you for the likes. Keep racking them up. Number one chill spot. We focus on the vibes here, not the nonsense. Let's go. New York City in 1940. New York City in 1940. New York City in 1940. To Berlioz right now. I hope that's how you pronounce his name, but Berlioz has been playing in my car for the last like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, every single day. Chill, 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 chill. It's like that housey jazz vibe. You understand? No need for words. It's vibrations. It's a beautiful thing. We're gonna rock out. And then we also have a new book called Dear Artist from the same author that we were vibing on last week, Jaya John. Now, I hope his name is Jaya John, but for some reason, I think it's Yaya John. I feel like the J might be silent. I am going to manifest. I'm not even going to say it right now. I'm not going to say it. But we're going to dive into this book because every single one of us in this world is an artist. What I love about it was the back. He talks about how this is a mystical love letter to artists and to all souls, to enrich your creative life. I truly believe every single one of us is an artist. I truly believe that your art, your creativity can be like a spiritual practice, a personal development tool. Yes, it can turn into your business and so many other things, but I think having that ultimate why and why you do what you do, and we talk about this in our creator tier in our chill space, to me, it's like, it's a spiritual practice. You know, you can learn about your ego. You can learn when you're serving the world or when you're serving something higher than yourselves. You can build confidence because you produce the evidence and you start to learn more about yourself. So it's also a self-discovery journey. And as I was reading this book, and I highly recommend to go, I need everyone to go run up the numbers for this guy because his words are absolutely beautiful. Like I say, I love his books so much because they remind me of the things I talk about, but he says it in an even more beautiful way. You know what I'm saying? Like the bro is a master with his pen game. Number one chill spot on the internet. Make sure you got some tea with you. We do have our green tea today. What kind of green tea is this? Let me actually. I'm sorry. I know I'd be gatekeeping a lot of time my tea strains, but we got the organic curly green tea today. Absolutely divine.
He was just getting nowhere. He went to see Picasso, and Picasso said, "Get in line, wait your turn. Just pretend you're waiting for the subway."
And before we get into Dear Artist, we're actually going to get into a couple highlights that I highlighted from a book in my Kindle. We've been doing a lot of reading this week. A lot of reading. You know, we're actually enjoying reading again and less consuming of videos. Because again, I'm like, my information, I want experiences. If I'm watching a video, let it be an experience. If not, I think I'm going to get back into the text, the scriptures, and things like that. If you have any books right now that you have been reading, please put them in the chat so other people can have those resources. We are a community. We build bridges. The value and knowledge that you're learning right now, that may be the exact value and knowledge someone else needs. And like you recommending that book may be exactly what they need in this season. So please share what you got. We got 61 likes in the building. Let's see if we can get those likes up to 100.
Surreal, more real than reality itself. A dash of cubism and a dollop of Matisse. Surreal, more real than reality itself. It's just too difficult, too complex to really describe. Surreal, more real than reality itself. A dash of cubism and a dollop of Matisse. Surreal, more real than reality itself.
So something I highlighted yesterday, which I loved, it says, which is the more powerful image in your mind? Is it the peaceful image or the terrible image? Because it's always like this, isn't it? Now, this is from the Gita. Because this is how the mind of the world, because this is the mind of the world. This is how people function. They hang on negativity. However, the outside world should not bother you. This doesn't mean that you don't care. You do care, but you should be focused, right? Focus, moving in the direction that matters, being able to put those blindfolders on and know that you can focus on your mission, focus on your heart. Because you have love inside of you, the Gita says, you care, but you don't become weak. And in this way, you can bring forth change. You understand? The very change you want to see in the world is the very change you make within yourself. First, moving in the direction that matters. The next page also said, he who sees, or friend who sees honor and dishonor as equal, who is indifferent to cold and heat, pleasure and pain, who is free from all attachments, which is interesting. I've been seeing a lot of videos as of lately on YouTube about detachment. It must be a theme that's going through people's minds and hearts. If you've been thinking about detachment, let me know in the chat. But it says, the who is free from all attachments, who is unaffected by both praise and blame, and content with any condition, who has no home, who is steady in mind, and who is devoted to me. Such a person is dear to me, dear to God, dear to the Most High. when I was reading this and it says, don't be attached to neither like, good or bad, it doesn't mean that we can't like celebrate and marinate in those times. When it's a good day, soak it in. But we shouldn't be attached to that season, to that day or whatever it may be. Because as soon as we have a bad day, what are we doing? Now everything within ourselves, everything beneath ourselves is crumbling because all we're thinking about is the polarity, when at the end of the day, there is duality in life. Thee who is free from all attachments, who is unaffected by both praise and blame, and content with any condition, who has no home, is steady in the mind. You understand? Centered between the positive and the negative. Such a person is dear to me, which is going back to that home within yourself, that sanctuary, that beautiful place. Some call it God, some say the Most High. Some just say it's home for themselves. Whatever your spiritual foundation is, you get to choose, you get to decide on that. One who is free from expectations, who is pure, skilled, impartial, and free from anxiety, and who has renounced the material pursuits, he is dear to me, or she is dear to me. It kind of sucks that, every book is so masculine, but, everyone is dear to me, which reminds me of what we always talk about. The destination is in every step. Doesn't mean we don't have goals or like a possible, place we're trying to go. But sometimes we can be so fixated on achieving that very thing that all we do is we lack that appreciation and gratitude for the steps that we are taking, for the process, for the journey. And some things just take a lot of time, Your development will take a long time, right? And it will take longer if we are comparing ourselves. If we go online and we see other people who are our age or, grew up in our city, whatever it may be, and you think that they're so far more ahead of you, well, then now you have stretched your journey out so much more further and you've lost the gratitude. I highly recommend different notions of the Gita here, just for creative individuals, not even as like a religious text. I kind of see it as a very creative text. It's not necessarily a religious text for me. You can buy this book, Dear Artist, on Amazon. I did find it on Amazon. Dear Artist by A Love Letter, Jaya John, which is what we're going to get into next. This is what I've been reading for the last 4 or 5 days. Again, a non-linear book, but, deep with, deep with knowledge, deep with nourishment. For those that like to nourish themselves on the good stuff and not the nonsense. We're going to read this part. Dear Artist Jaya John, may you practice communion, not combat. This is the prayer for your sake, for the world. If you break it, fix it. Your body, relations, this moment, the world. Loved one, when it comes to your creative life, you can claim ownership, or you can ride the slave ship. What grace that you get. What grace that you get to choose, right? I think for the creators out there that often feel like they're on the hamster wheel, or like a slave to the algorithm or whatnot, or you're not making the things you want to make. These are self-imposed choices and cages we put on ourselves. And I've been in there as well, where you feel like you're in a trap with it, or you're in a hamster wheel, and then you have to pull yourself back and be like, this is all my choice. I can choose to go in any direction that I want. I can choose to move in the direction that matters. I can create what I want. I don't have to create exactly what the algorithm wants. I don't have to create exactly what even people may want from me, you know? Because artists change. And as you change, you know, people may be like, I don't like the change. And that's all right, because you might as well be yourself. So the ones that love you come closer, and the ones that don't can go the other way. And when it comes to the online world, like at the end of the day, for the creators out there, your validation cannot come from others, right? People online are very fragile. People online will go and just believe anything that they hear, you know, or they may see somebody that like is following somebody else and they don't like that, and now they hate. Like, people online are very fragile, right? That's why I always say the views offline are a lot better. The internet is a place where you come and sprinkle the fruits of your gifts or your ideas, not really a place to like get validation for yourself or how you feel from your own affirmation bubble, right? It's just not how it works. You know, that's how you create a false reality. And a lot of people do that, unfortunately. Before we get into this next text, I want to do 2 more deep breaths. You can join me, but Monday's all about setting the tone. And I think sometimes we need to ask ourselves, like, how deep am I breathing today? Did you know, like, this is like scientifically proven that when we're on our phone swiping, that we have more of a shallow breath? Now that we're having a shallow breath, and also then you're comparing yourself, and then you may feel like you're procrastinating. So now you're getting less oxygen to the brain, and now you are rocking your nervous system. And we do this day by day, and then we question why we don't feel comfortable or grounded in ourselves. This is why I am very focused on creating some breathing practices, because what I realize is we all are creatures of community. You know, like it really popped in my mind a couple years ago, where I was like, yo, you think that like you thrive in like what you do by yourself, but that's not fully true. You just learned how to thrive as a solo creator or solopreneur. But when I was at the gym with one of my good friends, I noticed, I'm like, man, when we at the gym together, we really push each other. Iron sharpens iron. Like, we go harder. Like, I'll do 5 more reps, you know, like I will not. But, you know, when you're by yourself, sometimes you're not accountable to anybody else, and you can create an excuse. And I realize when it comes to journaling and all these things, we can talk about it, but having an experience, a guided experience, having structure and doing things together, I think is really what is going to bring a lot of us to that next stage in life. And even if it is in a digital form, and that is why we are kind of focused on developing these breathing practices. So we're going to do a couple deep breaths before we get into there. We did release a breathing session in the chill space yesterday. We're going to do a 3-minute breathing practice, just me and you. Release, release. So 1 deep breath. You can go at your own pace, or you can go with me, whatever you feel you need. Just hold it for a second and release. Again, 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 again. Release, release, release. Now it is better to breathe through your nose on the inhales. I am simply breathing through my mouth for the audio. All right, so try your best to breathe, inhale through your nose. You can release in whatever way. Again. Two more. We can do that throughout the day, any moment. You could be at work, deal with a stressful customer, or your boss is just being a jerk. You know how it be sometimes. Go aside for a moment, collect yourself. Try to be mindful that like your first reaction or destination isn't the phone, and we all fall victim to that. That was me last couple of days and stuff like that too. And then it just really ruins the pace of your breath. And the only person that can bring ourselves back is ourselves. Now, someone can mirror to us and remind us, but we have to make those steps. Jaya John here says, we think of artists as those who express outward. Though much of their alchemy is a matter of what they allow to flow inward. Artists make us feel because they have already dared to open their raw, vulnerable hearts and be touched in the spiritual uterus by all the world holds. Artists choose to be infused by beauty and horror, right? Which reminds me of what we just read in the Gita about not being attached to neither praise or blame, which correlates to what he said here as beauty and horror, the light and the dark, the duality, exploring both and just knowing that life's going to have those polarities. Grace and spite. Oof. Artists like Chaos run rapid through their tidy marrows of meaning. They dare relentlessly nudity of being. Bro's crazy with the words. Knowing the audience includes snarling guard dogs of the status quo, indifferent intellects high on critique, and leering legions of intoxicated malice. Oof, he said, knowing the audience, you understand? Snarling guard, like your audience may be like that. Your audience ain't gonna be all love. Your audience gonna come for you sometimes. But again, why do you do what you do, right? Do you do it to please others? Do you do it for others, or are you on a journey in yourself, bringing the best intention forward possible? And if people like it or don't like it, don't like what you said or whatever, my friends, right? Your validation comes from within. It comes from what you are building offline. We just come here to sprinkle our gifts online. I remember Tyler, the creator, said something one time. He was like, yo, he's talking about cyberbullying, which is obviously awful, but he's like, yo, just log off. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a beautiful creator call the other day in our creator tier, and someone did ask how to cope with negative comments. And I'm like, well, negative comments aren't really a reflection of you. You understand? Maybe it is, but a lot of times people are just projecting. A lot of times people even have like, they're just watching one thing and carving a narrative and projecting it at you. So you, again, when you're creating things or coming online, you got to know what your intention is. And if you follow through with that, that is all that matters. And if the online world is bugging you, guess what you get to do? You get to go offline. Like you can go online and see like so much chaos happening, political problems, this and that, people arguing about this, here, and then you log off, you go for a walk, people are smiling at you, people are saying hello, birds are chirping, you understand? This weekend I was in the lake like twice, hikes, the views are always so much beautiful offline, but we come online to simply sprinkle our gifts. Artists destroy their comfortable inner palace and allow the unpredictable hordes from the feral wilderness of emotion to invade the royal court of soulfulness, that they may experience the rapture of union and be impregnated by truth and birth. The gasping, glistening newborn, that is art. Ooh, he is poetic, man. We say artists are an outflow spout. Artists are a brave band who stand uneased and agape before the deserted, mystic mist and say, here I am, enter me. What he's saying is we think that artists bring things out of them all the time, but artists are highly in tune and they allow themselves to receive experiences, receive the feelings, you understand, because they're going to mix all up anyways and create something beautiful. Here I am, enter me, he says. Here I am, enter me. It's like a lot of people have said this, and I said this a long time ago, but I think sometimes ideas have us. Like ideas are just floating around, and the ones we like, we absorb. And the ones we don't like, we don't even have to identify with, right? Like you do get intrusive thoughts. Every thought you have isn't a representation of you. You get to choose if you want to adopt that thought and which one you want to live out and act on, right? Like you have to see yourself as a great observer, as the artist, and you're choosing which colors to paint. You're painting. You know, today may be black and white, and you reject blue, green, red, yellow, all of them, because you're like, no, today is just black and white. And it goes and it goes with our thoughts as well. You know, you can look at that thought and say, no, that thought is not for me. This is not for me. You know, these people ain't not for me. So we're just gonna move in the direction that matters. Let's try to see what else he's got in here. Ooh, I like this. This reminds me of the Bible. Are you not the bread of life, the rising goodness offered for nourishment, browned by circumstance, whole and fresh again in each moment? Yes, you are. There is no more beautiful or wondrous a gallery in this entire world than your soul. Let me say that again. There is no more beautiful or wondrous a gallery in this entire world than your own soul. Let yourself be awed that heavenly art. Let yourself be awed by that heavenly art. May grace and glory be your adornment today, the jewelry and makeup and clothing you share with creation. Wander the wilderness within you. What do we always say here? There's so much within us to explore, and that's something that we really need to grasp. Like, there's never a single point in your life where you can say you know everything about yourself, because there are still experiences to be had that are going to reveal different parts of yourself, right? So it's like that curiosity to me about ourselves is one of the coolest things. Like, you may be so steadfast in a career or like an artistic direction for a decade, and then out of nowhere feel a shift and be like, oh my God. And then you have to have the courage and strength to be able to let go of that and wander in the wilderness again and see what is next for you. Or you can stay in that place of comfort and get complacent, but you're not going to find anything new. You can get stagnant in yourself. And I don't think we have to be growth junkies, you know, personal development junkies. Like, I think it's really important that we learn how to enjoy the view too, especially when you climb a mountain, especially when you have worked so hard to be somewhere and you get there. And you should really enjoy and establish yourself in that space and balance out and grow your roots into the ground, right? Because the Most High, the universe, life is going to show you again when it is time to grow, right? Wander the wilderness within you. Miracles live there, and that will change your life. Wow. Miracles live there. It's like we think of miracles as something that happens outside of us, but miracles are happening within us. If you may become a miracle in someone else's life, right? You're going to be the blessing in someone else's life, right? And someone going to be a blessing in your life. Like, we all are like on like an equal spectrum like that. Like, yeah, we have different like economic, situations and like families and stuff like that, but we all experience the same thing in the human spectrum, the same emotions in our own unique ways. And I truly believe we're all students and teachers, and we all acquire wisdom in our own unique ways. And it's a beautiful thing when you can share it, because nobody is ever going to have your exact view, because no one has lived your life, right? For the creators out there, anyone out there that, gets imposter syndrome about sharing their ideas, the way you have lived, every step you have taken thus far, there's not another single person on this planet that has the exact same experience as you, which means you have a different viewpoint, which is interesting. You just have to believe that it is interesting. It starts with you, right? Like, now if you need everyone to tell you you're interesting, now you're getting your validation from the audience, right? And now you're going to be like, did Jesus say this, or was this just in the Bible? It says, don't be of the world, but be in it. You're in the world, but don't be of the world. Don't let the world influence you. You understand? Don't do everything for everybody else. You understand? Regardless of what it may be. You understand? You're in service. You root yourself in love. But at the end of the day, you're not trying to seek that validation. You just know what your intention is. And at the end of the day, that will sprout and blossom. Miracles live there, and that will change your life. Even as your heart tilts in the wind of circumstance, it sings in the sunlight of grace. Your body stores a lifetime of feeling. What? Your body stores a lifetime of feeling. I also think our bodies store lifetimes of feelings from the generations before us, right? The ones that came before us. Like, have you ever like met a family member later in life? Like, let's say it was like a cousin or a grandpa, or like it could have even been a parent that wasn't in your life, but you met them as an adult. And then when you meet them, you can actually see yourself in them, not physically, but in their mannerisms, the way they think. And it's like, how is that? How can that be? You know, you didn't grow up with them, so you weren't influenced by them. But there's something like in your genetic makeup that is the same, right? You have the people before you in you as well, which is so cool to me, that like we're all truly connected like that. When people say like, yo, thank the ancestors, it's like we're thanking them just for the life that they had, and we wouldn't be here without them, you know? I see that even with one of my grandpas. You know, I didn't grow up around him, but I have so many characteristics that are like him, you know. And I'm like, that's cool, you know. And you wouldn't even know, like, if you looked at us, that, you know, we related, but our spirits are we have similar spirits, and I love that. Absolutely love that. I need to hear a little bit of Berlioz. A little Berlioz for the chat one time. Let me know how you're feeling on a scale of 1 to 10. Let me know what your intentions are this week. My intentions this week is I'm creating some beautiful journal experiences for our community space, heinz.com/chill. Like I said, I'm more focused on like practical experiences, things that we can like do together, do the work. And I want it to be fun. I want it to be a vibe. I don't want it to be a boring webinar. I don't want it to be a boring class. I want it to be infused with music, sound effect, breathing sessions. Like, I want it to be an experience. That's what I'm focused on. That's what I'm dedicated on. And anything else beyond that, it no matter. You understand? It no matter. Let me know what your intention is this week. You know, we're just creating a vibe. I truly think every day, if you just have like a little bit of tea, a little bit of good music, a little bit of deep breathing, you'll be able to navigate through anything, truly anything, you understand? And even if you're having a bad day, like, it will pass, you know? Like, it's just how, even if you're having a bad season, it will pass. Even if you're having a bad year, it will pass, you know? And at the end of the day, everything's going to pass. But I do think, I'm not sure if you've seen the movie Soul, you know, I do think it's like that. Like, you just go back into like an ethereal place, and you just back with all the souls, and then you decide to come back again for like another experience, you know? So at the end of the day, we are eternal. I want to thank everyone out there who supports, who has discernment. I appreciate you. You know, I love you. You know, sometimes in life, you know, you may experience a job you hate just to realize what you don't want. A lot of life is going to be experiencing things and you learning what you don't want, what you don't need in your life, you know? You're going to have experiences like that. And we have to have gratitude for them, like the Tao says. And I'm going to say this all the time. When it's a bad day, have a little gratitude, because you've learned something, but a good day is going to come. And when we're having a good day, let's cherish it. because, an unfortunate day will come again. But the things that we don't like, that we experience, we have to really, get in our journal and write down, I know what I don't want now. Now I can go align more closely with what is truly for me. Say that to yourself. Some of us have had experiences, lived in places, jobs, relationships, whatever it may be, friendships, dynamics, even foods. You can eat foods and realize your body, this isn't for you. The first time I ever ate a pistachio, I realized I was allergic. Now I know that is not for me. It will kill me. Now I can protect myself, you understand? Some of us have soft skin, and there's nothing wrong with having soft skin. There's nothing wrong with being sensitive and deeply feeling life, right? But your soft skin does need protection as well. And that protection is your self-validation, is in you understanding who you are and standing on that. It's one of my favorite tunes, and we're going to let it rock back again. This is Amos Lifestyle. Shout out to South Africa. This was live at the Jazz Work. If there's any South Africans at the #1 chill spot right now, I am planning to come out there at some point. Kenya, I'm coming back first though.
Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Skama Philip, skama Twelip, skama influencer. Eyastrendeni, chiki emsakazweni, dugu mabonakude. Ekumabonakude, dugu kumabonakude. Lifestyle, pushy lifestyle, pushy lifestyle, pushy lifestyle. And you decide kala kancane, iphupho lami, umsebenzi wami, ngithatha ungifake entweni. Umsebenzi wami ukudedela ama-hit, awujayivisa abantu emphakathini. And ngisayicela kancane, iphupho lami, umsebenzi wami, ngithatha ungifake entweni. Umsebenzi wami ukudedela ama-hit, awujayivisa abantu emphakathini. Hey, maningi shoot.
Lifestyle. Shout out to Almost Big Tune. No, that's fun. For real. That's for real. Little reminder deck before we get going. Your boy's gonna go soak in some mineral, high vibrational water tonight. You understand? The hot springs, you know what it is. You know how it is. We nourish ourselves every single day. Alignment isn't hard to find when you have a sound mind. Alignment isn't hard to find when you have a sound mind. Say that with me. We got to believe in that alignment when we feel. I always say, like when we're misaligned and things are kind of messed up and we're just not feeling grounded, it's like, again, it's an opportunity to know what is for us and what isn't. And alignment truly isn't hard when we just cultivate a sound mind. When we take a moment, that's why we do these type of streams, because I feel they're just like, it's really like a nice background as well. Like you don't even have to be watching the screen. Like I hope some of you are just painting or doing your homework or, working on other things, and other ones you may be really present with me, and that's beautiful too. Some of you may be in the chat, but whatever it is, it's content that can just add to your life, I hope, and not necessarily like take from it. It's kind of like the intention of the whole space. The back says, a sound mind is a whole mind, right? Like when we have a sound mind, we're able to access our whole mind, the genius of it, the creativity, like everything. But when we worship our worries, what do? We're only fixated in one area of our mind: stress, pain, fear. But a sound mind, we have the ability to roam, because I believe you are a genius. You understand? You're a genius in your own way. Every single one of us. I don't think God made no mistakes like that. Like I think he placed gifts within all of us, right? We may just be jealous of other people's gifts because we're like, oh, I like that gift. But you have gifts, many gifts, ones that you are unaware of as well. I always say that, ones that you are unaware of as well. A sound mind is a whole mind, a calm mind, a present mind. It is a creative mind. So take a moment today, breathe, reflect, observe, and repeat. I am aligning myself. I am cultivating a sound mind. We're going to go off the colors. This one says led by spirit, not by self. But we're going to change that. We're going to say led by spirit, not by others. You understand? Don't be chasing the world. Don't be chasing the world's validation. You know, show up, share your gifts, and that's it. You know, don't be attached to the worship or the blame. Like the Gita said, the praise or the blame. You understand? You get a positive comment, cool. That's great. You get a negative comment, cool. That's great. You understand? What matters is your intention. You may share an idea that people hate, but that's your idea. You granted for that. You understand? And again, you know, things online, like people are very quick to judge. That's just how it is. You know, people don't use a lot of discernment sometimes. They're quick to judge and hop onto things. So we led by spirit, not by others. You understand? We don't always have to have the answer, and there is a simple comfort and truth in that. Lean not solely on the understanding of the world, but, you know, pray for guidance and allow spirit to lead. And you can simply just ask, like, hey, chill. Today I am in an uncertain place and I need a little bit of wisdom, and I ask you for a more clear direction to illuminate the path for me. And the things that I cannot see, I have faith that you are working out for me. And the things that are within my capacity, I'm going to show up as my best self. It's simple. A simple prayer. You know, it doesn't have to be too crazy, you know, too long. A simple prayer can go a long way. You don't have to do this all by yourself. You can recognize that you have a divine ally, right? Even if you don't have what you think to be a strong spiritual foundation or a religion or a name to attain to your God, you have a divine ally, and it's very important to believe in that. Man, this card is for one of you. I can feel it. There's a new creation forming within me. It's okay to change. It's okay to evolve. You understand? Some of us are shedding skin. Some of us are shedding layers in this season, shedding many things. Some seasons your growth goes inward, like the roots of a tree, preparing to blossom, cultivating all the inner treasures that you need. It's important that we don't measure our growth always by finances, right? Sometimes you need to measure your growth by, man, in this season, I developed a lot of patience. That's something you can measure growth by. Oh, in this season, I developed this. Oh, I went into the soil. Didn't go upwards for everyone to see. I went into the soil. When you feel stagnant in the physical or the material world, right, outside of yourself, let's say, the things that you show others, remind yourself that there is a new creation forming within me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I like that. 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 We only have a couple more minutes. You know, these Mindful Mondays are usually around an hour. They're really just set the tone in the direction that matters. Again, if you like this type of experiences and you want more, we are developing more experiences in our community space. We dropped a beautiful guided session. We have so much coming. It's beautiful. If you came in feeling like a certain frequency, a certain number, and you're feeling a little bit better, let me know how you are feeling now. If you came in feeling like a 4, now you're like a 6 or a 7 or an 8, let me know how you are feeling right here at the number 1 chill spot. I came in feeling like a 6.5, feeling like a good 9.5 now. Beautiful. And for those of us who have been struggling with patience, who have been struggling with different things in our mind, wrestling, figuring out that direction, because sometimes we're like, let's move in the direction that matters, but we don't even know what that direction is. And I feel you, I understand you, but a breakthrough is about to come. You don't know that. When you are wrestling with the mind, you're not going to be there forever. It's just not going to happen. You know, think about in the past when you're trying to figure something out and then it clicked. You're always going to have that light bulb moment. It's going to come. Remember that. So you might as well just enjoy to wrestle a little bit, you know, and be like, oh, I'm getting closer. I'm getting closer. I've been wrestling with myself. I've been trying to figure out this direction. I'm getting closer. Clarity often arises after we have been wrestling with life. Chia. Clarity often arises when we settle the mind, right? So is the mind too busy? Have we taken a moment? Have we taken a deep breath today? Right? Very echo, very important that we take that time every single day. And I hope that I can bring you more practices that will give you that accountability and that structure. That is my goal. My goal is not to force feed just like whatever information I come across, but to give experiences that God has planted within me that we can grow together. But clarity often does arrive when we settle the mind. So we breathe into that every moment we can. And we remind ourselves that a breakthrough is about to come. I want to thank you for tuning in to the number 1 chill spot on the internet. I'm going to close off with my own breathing. You know, I understand I'm just going to release anything I've been holding on to. You can breathe with me at your own pace. You can do whatever it may be. We're going to close up these last few minutes. I appreciate you. Release. I trust that everything is working out for me. I trust that our divine ally is working things out behind the scenes. I trust that everything is working out. You can say that with me. I trust that everything is working out for me. I trust that the divine ally is working behind the scenes. I trust that everything is put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. I trust that everything is working out for we. You understand? Because we in this together. I trust that everything is working out for we, and we trust that the divine ally is working behind the scenes. I trust that everything is working. Sometimes you got to just really rewire your mind. Take yourself out of that worrying, worshiping the worries, and remind yourself everything is working out for me. It's working out, you understand? It's going to be all right. You're moving forward, you understand? You're aligning yourself. You got beautiful people around you, don't you? Even if it's one person, you understand? You got a tribe. Everything is working out. You don't know in hindsight, everything is going to be all right. Make sure to check out our community space, new breathing practice, and I'll see you next time. We're going to do a 3-minute breathing practice, just me and you. Release, release. Vibes.